Hello, amazing math students. Welcome to the Math Dojo. Today we are going to be working on setting up your math notebook. The first thing you need to do is you need to print out all those documents that were sent regarding this notebook. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and pause this video, print them out, and then come back to the video when you're ready. The first step is to write on the cover. You want to make sure that everyone knows that this is your math notebook. I personally put my little math ninja on it. I put my name on it. And then mine says math journal, notebook, journal, same thing. All right, so the next step is your cover page. Again, this is your chance to be creative. Again, I put my little math ninja girl, put my little math ninja sign on. And then the most important thing is right up here in the top, we put page 1. This is going to help with the organization of the whole entire notebook. So it's important that we make sure we label up in that top corner. So the next step is our table of contents, or sorry, our math notebook. I almost forgot that page. Here is your math notebook information. This is the 8th grade math notebook information. Whatever grade you are in, you will print that out and paste it right here. The nice thing about this is it has all your expectations and then the reasons why we expect it. So when we're asking you to do something, we're not just telling you we would like you to do it. We're telling you why it's important. And that's extremely important for you to know. That way you realize the importance of what we're doing. Now, up in the corner, remember, page 3. Organization matters. All right. So the next piece is that table of contents I mentioned a minute ago. So on page 5, again, labeled up in the top, we have our table of contents with the date, the topic, and then the page number. This is going to help us with organization. You're going to list everything that you put in here on this table of contents so that way you can quickly reference back. So if you're studying and it says use your prior knowledge on order of operations, you can come back here and you can go, oh, order of operations, it's on page 12, and I can flip over to page 12 and I can find exactly where we went over the material. Now you'll want to do the table of contents for page 5. Page 7, leave it blank, just write table of contents. And page 9. The reason why you want all 3 pages is because this is your notebook for the entire year. So you're going to want to make sure you have plenty of room to fill it in. All right. That being said, we're going to go on to the next page, which is your asking questions and then the mind chatter and the 5 R's. Asking questions, this is page 11. This is extremely important because it's going to help you develop questioning skills. So now, a lot of times when you come into math and you ask a question, you just say, I don't understand this whole concept. This will help you be more specific and get the help you specifically need on a question. It's going to help you learn how to ask the question in such a way that you're getting help on the item you need and not just a bunch of other stuff that you already know. On the back of that, I put your little mind chatter and the 5 R's of math, which are just some really good tips and hints to help you study math. On the next page, again, label it, page 13, I have our multiplication chart, and I have divisibility rules. Divisibility rules are pretty awesome. Once you know them and memorize them, they help so much when you get to big problems and you don't know if it's divisible by anything. We'll use this a lot in prime factorization and things like that. So it's extremely important to have that in there to reference back. All right, on the next page, there is a new STAAR chart for most of the grade levels. So you're going to want to make sure that you're printing out the new STAAR chart. I, again, have the 8th grade STAAR chart because this is an 8th grade notebook, but you will print the grade level appropriate one. And I went ahead and put it in there. It has all my formulas. If yours has the ruler still, you'll want to put it in so it's sideways so you can still use that ruler. I would suggest you print 2 copies of this. One to keep in your math notebook and one to keep actually with your book. That way you have it at all times and you can reference back to it. This is an important piece of information because when you get to the STAAR test, you want to be able to know how to use this and when to use this. So make sure you have this printed out especially. Again, before I forget, label it page 15. All right, next, the cubed reference document. This is a really great way and technique, strategy that helps you with problems. So cube stands for circle, underline, bracket, eliminate, and draw. So you can go through this process anytime you have a word problem or anytime you have a STAAR problem that you're really struggling with. This is a great way to solve that problem. And this would be on page 16. All right. Next, weekly reflections. These are going to go on the next pages. Notice again, I'm labeling my pages. The weekly reflection page is something you need to do obviously weekly, but you're going to go through and you're going to reflect on what you learned in math that week. Awesome way to review, what did I actually do this week? And put an example problem on here telling me all about like what you did and how to work it out. And then one thing I want you to add there is how to work it out in words. Because if you can write it out in words, you have a better overall grasp of the concept. So that's going to go on these next pages. You can either just paste it in there or you can write it in there, whatever format works best for you. And then our weekly vocabulary. You're going to choose one vocabulary word at least. You can do this as much as you want, and you're going to look at it and you're going to put the word in the middle, and then you're going to give the definition, give an example, a representation, and then a non-example. And I think the most valuable piece here is the non-example because it shows you what it isn't. And a lot of times you guys can identify what something is, but you struggle with what it isn't. So this will be really good for that. Couple reminders, do not forget your dates. On every single problem and page, make sure you're putting that date up at the top. That way you can reference back. So that way if I say, hey, we covered that on June 3rd or whatever it may be, you can go back and you look at it. The other thing I wanted to tell you, one of the great things about this notebook is it's your personal study guide for your STAAR test. You are writing all the data down that you've learned in here. And when you get ready for that STAAR test, you can go back and you can review this. You can also go back and look at pages where you've marked it and you're like, ooh, I struggled with this. This is a great way to keep all that data in one place for you. And it is now your own personal study guide for STAAR. With that being said, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to your math teacher or your homeroom teacher, and we will get you those answers. I hope you have an amazing day.